Children of the Empire, the dark history of the Janissaries. Subscribe for more time-bending history. Imagine you're 8 years old. It's winter. Ottoman officials arrive in your village. You're Christian, you don't speak Turkish, and you have no idea why your parents are crying. This is not war. This is devshirme, the Ottoman Empire's brutal child collection system. From the 14th to 17th centuries, the empire stole Christian boys, converted them to Islam, and trained them to become its elite army, the Janissaries. This is the story of the machine behind the empire, and the children it broke. Chapter 1. The Empire Rises. The Ottoman Empire began as a small warrior band in Anatolia, but by the 1300s, it started absorbing Christian Balkan lands. As it expanded, it needed soldiers loyal, trained, elite soldiers. But here's the thing. The sultans didn't fully trust the Turkish nobility, so they built a parallel power structure, a military corps made from people who had no ties to anyone but the sultan. Solution: devshirme, literally, the collection. It started with villages in the Balkans. Officials would arrive every 3 to 5 years. Christian families were forced to give up their sons, aged 8 to 18. No orphans, no only sons. They wanted the healthiest, smartest, strongest. Some families resisted. Others tried to bribe their way out. A few even volunteered, believing their sons would live better lives. But most were taken. Chapter 2. Children reforged. The boys were marched to Istanbul. There, they were converted to Islam and renamed. They were forbidden from speaking their native language. And then came the training. For years, they were conditioned physically, mentally, and spiritually. They learned Turkish, Arabic, Persian. They memorized the Quran. They trained in combat daily. No alcohol, no women, no distractions. They were broken down, rebuilt, hardened. The best of them joined the Janissary Corps. Elite, feared, fanatically loyal to the Sultan. They lived in barracks, trained constantly, and followed a strict code. They weren't allowed to marry or own private property. They were a weapon, and the world noticed. European armies feared them. Ottomans praised them. Sultans trusted them. But these weren't just soldiers. They were once someone's children. Chapter 3. The Iron Wall. The Janissaries became the empire's shock troops. They stormed Constantinople, held off crusaders, maintained internal order. Some became governors, advisors, even grand viziers. Imagine a kidnapped Christian peasant boy rising to run the empire that stole him. But power breeds hunger. By the 1600s, the Janissaries started demanding more privileges. They broke rules, took bribes, married. They went from elite guard to political faction. Sultans feared them. Reforms were blocked. Uprisings started. They were too powerful to destroy, too dangerous to ignore. What began as a tool became a threat. Chapter 4. The system cracks. By the 18th century, the Janissary Corps was bloated, corrupt, and disloyal. They resisted modern weapons, hated reforms, took young recruits without devshirme. Meanwhile, European powers advanced rapidly. The Ottomans stagnated. The once invincible Janissaries became a liability. Multiple sultans tried to rein them in. Many failed. Some were dethroned. A few were assassinated. And still, the Janissaries held on, until one sultan had enough. Chapter 5. The Final Purge. In 1826, Sultan Mahmud II triggered the auspicious incident. He created a secret, modern army, trained them quietly, then provoked the Janissaries into open rebellion. When they rose up, he crushed them. Artillery bombarded their barracks. Thousands killed. Survivors executed or exiled. Devshirme ended. The Janissary Corps was erased. The empire moved on, but the legacy lingered. Chapter 6. Memory and Myth. Today, the story of the Janissaries is a paradox. To some, they were pioneers of meritocracy, a path from peasant to power. To others, They were a stolen generation, the result of state-sanctioned child slavery. The Ottoman Empire used devshirme to build one of the strongest forces in the world. But it came at a cost: identity, family, freedom. And while the empire is gone, its methods echo in the pages of military history, political manipulation, and cultural trauma. The timeline remembers: they were soldiers, slaves, strategists, survivors, children torn from their homes, reforged into a weapon of empire. This was the story of the Janissaries, and how one of history's greatest empires built its future on the backs of stolen boys.